Thanks for joining us. I'm Darren Bobb. A new university focused on science, technology, engineering, and math announced today by the Walton family. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi went to Bentonville, where the new school plans to move into the former Walmart home office.
More academic access is in the works, and Bentonville leaders are excited. They tell me that the new STEM school will help benefit their growing community. A building once filled with corporate offices is being reimagined for classrooms instead. The Walton family Thursday announced plans to turn their former home office in Bentonville into a 4-year STEM school.
Being a city that's an innovator and seeing education be a huge piece of that, this new school is just another piece in that puzzle.
Some fields of study will include computing, biomedical technology, and technical management. The first class is expected to have about 500 students. The goal is to grow up to 1,500 undergraduates.
It fits and aligns with Bentonville and our growth here, our intentional growth and around innovation and now higher education.
Growth in and around Bentonville is no secret. President and CEO of the Bentonville Area Chamber of Commerce, Brandon Gengelbach, says the new school could help with retaining Arkansas's workforce.
It's an amazing opportunity to be able to take a piece of real estate and to be able to leverage that to meet the needs of the community, to be able to invest dollars in helping to prepare that next generation for the workforce is just extraordinary.
Mayor Stephanie Orman says this only adds to Bentonville being a top destination to live, learn, and work.
Starting with supply chain and logistics, healthcare announcements, and now the new STEM school in higher education. I think it's just one more step in that pathway forward to making Bentonville really the most attractive, most livable city.
The announcement is fresh and the details are minimal, but information and plans for the future of this school are expected in the coming months. In Bentonville, covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
All right, Jacob, thanks. First daughter Ivanka Trump was in Bentonville today for today's Heartland Summit. She's part of a panel discussion with Huffington Post founder Ariana Huffington, focused on the role agriculture plays in national well-being and as a means to promote positive health outcomes. We're following developments in the Amber Waterman case. The Arkansas Supreme Court cleared the way today for her to stand trial in Benton County for the kidnapping and murder of pregnant mother Ashley Bush. Waterman is already serving a life sentence after pleading guilty in federal court. Well, today the justices rejected her appeal that a separate trial in Arkansas would be double jeopardy because the state and federal cases are different offenses. Federal case focused on kidnapping across state lines, while the state case will focus on premeditated murder. Prosecutors have maintained they do want to pursue the death penalty.
Consider the severity of the murder. Is it a murder that makes it sort of above and beyond the typical? We consult heavily with surviving family members of victims and really heavily take their wishes into account. It's not an arbitrary or a quick decision.
Waterman pled guilty last July to kidnapping resulting in the death of Ashley Bush. According to the indictment, she kidnapped Bush after promising her a job, then killed her across state lines in Missouri. The next court date, by the way, set for June in Benton County. You can follow updates on the case as it moves forward with our 5 News smartphone app. Talk about the forecast now. After a few rainy days and some drizzle today and maybe even some rain this afternoon, let's look ahead to Mother's Day weekend. Scott joining us now to tell us not a bad weekend.
Not a bad weekend at all. A few raindrops stand between us and that really nice weekend. Some of us seeing those right now. Look, when you look at the big picture, it's easy to miss some of those showers. You look a little bit closer and you can see there are spotty showers pretty much right up and down I-49. Here's one that's just to the west of Rogers, south of Bentonville there. Those are going to continue tracking, let's say near Tawnytown. You got one to the west side of Fayetteville moving towards Prairie Grove. We've had a few spotty showers, just not as many in the River Valley. You can see a few of those starting to fizzle out there. Our rain chance is going to stay spotty, just like it is out there right now. You can kind of see one of those showers here from our Rogers Mercy camera. You can see it there off in the distance. Over the next few hours, I'd expect those temperatures to drop into the low 50s overnight tonight in northwest Arkansas, upper 50s likely for those lows in the River Valley. We'll see the clouds break up. There's still going to be a few out there tomorrow. Some sunshine, though. Not a bad Friday, although there's a slight chance of rain even again tomorrow. And then we've got a really nice weekend. Beyond that, we're looking at some warm temperatures. Heat index values values back in the 90s for many of us. And that all takes us into what's going to be a more typical May pattern. What's a typical May pattern entail? Well, yeah, of course, storms. We'll track those together in your new 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Scott, thanks. Sebastian County emergency managers are watching the forecast after storms ripped through the area last night. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza went to Fort Smith, where some are facing significant damage to homes.
This is where Robert Marsalis lives, but tonight he won't be able to sleep here. That's because in last night's storms, a massive tree came down on his home, leaving a 12-foot hole in his roof and sheetrock scattered across his living room.
I woke up, I thought it was the power that went out, because the power went out in my house. You know, so I thought the big boom was like, you know, one of the transformers or something going off. But no, when her husband come running over and saying, hey, you know, your tree's laying on your house.
One other home was damaged by a falling tree. OG&E and street department crews spent the day clearing trees and branches across the northern area of Fort Smith, including this massive pile near Kelly Highway. Officials are asking residents to report any damage they have. As for Marsalis, the Red Cross is helping him find a place temporarily. In Fort Smith, covering the news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
All right, Jose, thanks. Also developing today, Arkansas Game and Fish has confirmed to us that there is a search now looking for a kayaker who went missing around the Mulberry River. They say they are searching the river just north of Mill Creek in the Boston Mountains. They're not releasing any information about who the person is or when they went missing. Of course, we'll bring you any developments from search crews as soon as they are released. New at 6, a popular candy and family-run business that's been around for decades is trying something new to keep up with trending desserts. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis visited Copper Kettle in Van Buren to see how one highly anticipated sweet treat is made.
Copper Kettle Candies made its grand opening in Van Buren back in 1950. Since then, the business has passed down from generation.
This is my grandpa here. This is about probably about 58, 59.
To generation. Thomas Greer, the owner of the shop, followed in his grandfather and father's footsteps. While some things at Copper Kettle have always been the same.
This is who we've been buying chocolate from for, well, more than my lifetime.
Other habits are changing.
Well, it started out with my daughters. Seeing it on TikTok and seeing that they were like, Dad, I want to try these. We got to find them. We had it and they were amazed, and it was better than what I expected.
The Dubai chocolate bar has been one of the latest dessert trends on social media, but Greer is adding his own flair.
You know, everybody makes a bar. We wanted to make something that was similar with the other candy that we make.
This mixture you guys see me scooping onto this sheet is Copper Kettle Candy's newest dessert that's got some tahini, katifi, white chocolate, and pistachio butter to make their newest Dubai-inspired chocolates.
It's an explosion of flavor. The pistachio with the katifi gives it such a good crunch.
The katifi and pistachio butter are both imported from India. Greer says they've been preparing for hiked prices from tariffs, but is determined to make sure his customers don't feel the effects of the current economy.
We're scared. We do our best to hold back any of those hiccups or bumps in the industry in hopes that we can shield our customer from that and take a little bit of the hit.
In Van Buren, covering news where you live, Kayla Davis, 5 News.
Greer says he will have a limited amount of the Dubai-inspired candies available this Saturday at the Van Buren and Fort Smith locations.